Hey guys, we're the Disney Kremlins. I'm Cody, this is Chase. Thanks for watching. You can follow us at Disney Kremlins on Instagram. Subscribe, like, comment. This is going to be our top 10 Disney World ride video. Keep in mind that doesn't include shows, meet and greets, stuff like that. It only is just rides. That's all it is in this video. So definitely comment if we missed something that you think. Share with us what your top 10 list is, either on Instagram or here, and subscribe. Hit that like button, follow us on Instagram. We want to connect to you. Disney community has already been great with the amount of followers and comments we've got just in this 1 week of doing things. We love it. We're passionate about Disney. Many of you out there are too. So definitely just give us a follow, suggestions on what you want to see in future videos. And with that, let's start our top 10 ride video. So you can go ahead and go first.
Alright. My number 10 ride at Disney World is going to be Spaceship Earth by Siemens.
My favorite sponsor.
Gotta put the sponsor
Disney
World. Yeah. Fun ride. It's definitely a Disney ride. It has its own category of Disney rides. You know, it's well themed. I'm a history nerd, so it's like the whole ride is basically traveling through a whole history book of humans.
Of every nationality too.
Yeah, from cavemen to the internet being made to the future, where you get to design your own future based off of like your own interests. So that's really fun. Yeah, fun ride. Probably not on most people's lists, but I'm a history nerd, so it's got to be up there for me.
I agree. I think that for one, I think it's probably the most quotable ride in all Walt Disney World. I think it's a ride that...
Civil War's over.
Yeah, Civil War's over. Thank the Phoenicians.
Thank
you
the
remember
Phoenicians.
how? Yeah. So like, just so many quotable things in that ride. One tip I would say, ride it later on in the day. A lot of people just go to that ride that don't know, haven't ever been to Disney World, don't know their way around the parks. Go there last or in the middle of the day. The line will be a lot shorter. It gets so packed early on. Like, I think it was like a 45-50 minute wait last time we were there early on in the morning. So definitely go later on in the afternoon. Number 10 for me is Soarin'. I think that's going to be a ride that most people are surprised that we have at 10. Mm-hmm. And I love the ride, don't get me wrong. I think it's a ride that was groundbreaking, is a ride that, no other theme park to my knowledge or that I've rode at or been to or rode on is like that. I think it's a ride that's very unique. With the Soarin' Around the World now, the sounds and the just the detail of the transitions and everything going from scene to scene is just great in the ride. I think Disney did a great job with it. The line queue, most of the time we get a fast pass. They only get a fast pass if you can. The line queue is pretty detailed. Just a great overall ride. It is just number 10, but if it's in your top 5, that's fine. It's going to be in a lot of people's top 5s, and we get that.
Alright, my number 9 is going to be Tower of Terror. Again, ride that's higher on most people's list. I like it. I wouldn't say I enjoy it as more as other rides, which is why I would have it at 9. It's a fun ride. It's a drop ride, it's well themed. It's a Disney ride and it's well themed. The Twilight Zone's a cool little thing. It's kind of different than most other rides, so it also has that going for it as well. But, it's a thrill ride. I wouldn't say it's fun. That's why it's number 9. It's terrifying. So, number 9 for me. But if you have it higher, I completely understand.
No, definitely, and just the detail of everything with, a bellhop greeting you and taking you into the elevator is great. Number 9 for me is going to be Pirates of the Caribbean. I think this is going to be a ride that for some people is in their top 5 or not on their top 10 list. And for me, it's number 9. I love all the rides that are original Disney park rides. Like, they're back almost when the park opened. I'm not sure if it was there on the park date, but it was definitely there within like the first 2 or 3 years. And Disney actually made the movie franchise around the ride. That's not ever even heard of to my knowledge. So, and now they've made 5 movies. It's my favorite franchise movie. Chase is shaking his head because it's, he doesn't think it's even close for him. It is my favorite movie franchise. So obviously that's part of what puts it in the top 10 for me. Just a fun ride, great theme, just great job by Disney overall.
Yeah. If you're a Pirates fan, which a lot of people are, definitely go on it.
Agreed.
Alright. My number 8 is going to be People Mover. So yeah, it's an enjoyable ride. Like when I compare it to Tower of Terror, I enjoy People Mover much more. It's peaceful. You get to sit back, relax, kick your feet up on the seat if there's only 2 of y'all. But you know, I like it because it shows Tomorrowland. It outlines everything, so you really get a great view of it, and like you get to appreciate it, the theme of Tomorrowland as a whole more. So it has that. It has a great view of the castle, great view of Space Mountain, especially as Space Mountain's down. As Space Mountain's down, the People Mover is a for sure go-to ride, because you get to see the inside of Space Mountain if it's with the lights on, which is really cool. So yeah, also if it's raining, you get to go on that. They usually let you keep riding it if you ask them nicely. So yeah, that's my number 8.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think, an underrated attraction. You know, it does a great job of touring all of Tomorrowland, so I definitely really like it. Number 8 for me is Haunted Mansion, and you may be starting to sense a theme with this one and my next one. If you want to guess my next one, pause the video now and put it in the comments below. But my number 8 is Haunted Mansion. It's along the same themes as Pirates. I love it because it's an original ride, or you know, in that first 3-year window when you know all the rides were opening up. So to think that it was that creative and that ahead of its time, that it's still such a good ride now. The line queue is detailed. The pre-show area with the stretching walls is amazing. I love that it's an omni mover ride, so it's continuously moving all the time. I mean, it does stop here and there for people to get on, or if people are falling behind getting off. It does have to make stops every now and then, but for the most part, it's an omni mover attraction. It just is continuously moving. You know, it never really that long of a wait. It's all indoors. You know, so Haunted Mansion is my number 8.
Alright. My number 7 is going to be Test Track by Chevrolet. Again, gotta put the sponsor in.
Right.
They paid for it, they deserve it.
Yeah.
A lot of people diss on this ride a little bit because they enjoy it more when it was like the test crash dummies. But I like it more now, mainly probably because I'm younger. But I like the whole design your car thing with all the different attributes on it. That's really fun for me, hands-on. I'm sure kids enjoy it, so if you have kids, definitely go for it. You get to make your own advertisement for the car you made, which is really fun. And then you have I haven't even gotten to the actual ride itself. You know, fun ride, not too thrilling, but still enough to like get your adrenaline up. So yeah, that's my number 7.
My number 7 is going to be Jungle Cruise. You know, again, sticking to that theme, for those that caught on to that original Disney ride theme, it's great. It has a lot of puns, which we love. We both love puns, as you can tell by some of our Instagram posts. And it's one of those rides that's different every time you ride it, depending on what kind of skipper you get. Also, it's one of those rides that you almost make the ride. You know, I think Disney has a lot of rides where you need to interact with the person who's leading you on the ride. So in this case, it's the boat skipper. Definitely interact with them. You know, get that back and forth interaction going, because that's going to help make the ride even that much better. I think it's definitely one of those rides that you get out what you can put into it. And if you're there to have a good time and enjoy yourself and interact with the skipper, it's going to be great. If you get in there just thinking it's going to be miserable, then it's going to be miserable, because you're just going to sit there like a bump on a log. You're at Disney World, relax, have fun, interact with the skipper. So Jungle Cruise, that's my number 7.
Alright. My number 6 is going to be Expedition Everest. It's like a big Disney ride. It's a thrill ride. It's fun. The theme is well done. The inline queue for it is really cool. You have like all the scientific research in the area of like the animals and stuff. So that's really cool. It's really in detail actually, if you actually pay attention in line. And the actual ride, it's really fun. I love the whole cheesy little, it looks like you're going off the track,
Right.
and then it stops you. I love it. You go backwards, you drop. It's a good ride.
And I don't think you mentioned that it does have a single rider line.
Yes.
So for single riders like us,
I wouldn't say you get a fast pass for it. Oh yeah. I
single
like it.
riders.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is probably like Jungle Cruise. But yeah, if you are a single rider or you're in a smaller group, definitely check out that wait line, because that wait line is usually like 5 or 10 minutes. The ride can get up to like 40, so definitely check that out.
You were waiting to use that joke.
I was. I had it queued up. It was in my notes.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6 for me is Toy Story Mania. You know, I think part of this is just because Toy Story for me is that ride that is almost through a movie of my childhood. You know, Toy Stories is just that quintessential movie that I grew up on. You know, it's made towards my generation, you know, where Andy moves off to college and he leaves his toys behind and all that. So Toy Story obviously is one of my favorite movie franchises. And then you add in the competition element. Both of us love sports. We're both competitive people. You add that in, it's really a ride that you can't beat for us. The theming, where the line cue and the ride, like when you get on the ride, is all centered around as though you're a toy in Andy's room. Like that's what the theming is geared towards. It's just great. You're able to see best in your car, best score of that hour, best score of the day. Just a great ride. Definitely try to fast pass it if you can, especially with a lot of Hollywood studios closed. The lines can get long, but they did add another third track, so that does help with the lines, but definitely try to fast pass it if you can.
Alright, my number 5 is Toy Story Mania. Cody just mentioned it. He wrapped it up pretty well. If you have kids, it's definitely a for sure ride to do, especially at Hollywood Studios. Cody covered it well. Great theme for a great movie, great ride, competitive. I actually beat him on this ride. He owns me at the Buzz Lightyear ride, so gotta go on Toy Story Mania every time so I can get payback on that one. So
yeah, and for me, Buzz Lightyear's a ride that I grew up on at Disney. So I've rode that ride so much that I know where to shoot at. And I know what target's to aim for. So maybe we'll do a video covering that, like how to get higher scores in the Buzz Lightyear ride. Number 5 for me is going to be Test Track. Chase has already covered this. He did a really good job of it. I am one of the ones that preferred it better when you were the crash test dummy. I really enjoyed that ride. I thought it was great themed. Again, presented by Chevrolet. Want to get those sponsors in there, but it's just great theme. Again, it's a competitive ride. Like at the end, you can compare your cars to like other scores. It even now has it where it's top in each category, not just overall. You make a commercial at the end. It's just great. It's fun. All of it's inside. If the queue gets too long, it can get outside the door a little bit, but
it's also a single rider.
For the most part, it's inside, and it does have a single rider option. All the single riders out there, # single rider. So yeah, I love Test Track. It's one of my favorite rides in all of Disney World, and that's my number 5.
Okay. My number 4 is going to be Space Mountain. For a lot of people, it's their go-to ride at Magic Kingdom, which can't blame them. Super fun ride. You're in the dark, you're laughing the whole time. And for me, it's just amazing. The theme's done well. It actually feels like you're traveling in space. It's amazing. There's a lot to say about that ride, so definitely different experience depending on where you're sitting, so try to sit somewhere different every time. If you're at the front, you can actually somewhat see like the stuff that's in front of you, so it looks like you're gonna get your head knocked off, which if you enjoy that, by means do it. I didn't like the front, and if you're sitting in the middle or the back, it's more thrilling because you get whipped around more. It's faster, so yeah.
And one thing I'll give a lot of props to Disney on is that they're really good about accommodating you when you request to sit somewhere. Things I can think of is, we want to set up, me and Chase really enjoy sitting up front on Splash Mountain. We enjoy sitting up towards the front to interact with the driver on both the Safari ride and Jungle Cruise. We enjoy sitting at the back on some rides. So definitely talk to the people in the line queue, and they're 99% of the time they'll get you situated where you want to be. Number 4 for me is Safari. Again, much like Jungle Cruise, this is a ride where definitely interact with your driver, taking you out on your Safari, because the more you interact with them, the more they're going to come back with you. It's just going to make the ride a lot more enjoyable. Definitely go at dawn or dusk as the sun's rising or the sun's setting. Usually the animals are different, are up and more active during that time. Shout out to Dad for the text message coming through in the middle of our video. I think it's great. Disney now has a human-made, artificially made sunset, which is amazing. To just think about that's possible at this, at this time, that you can actually make an artificial sunset is amazing. So just check that out. All 3 of those different times when you go is going to be a different experience. And that's what I like about that ride, is that it's unique almost every time you go on it.
Alright. My number 3 is going to be Splash Mountain. I love it. I love water rides. So I just enjoy them. If it wouldn't have had all the other drops on there, it'd still be high for me. Which it adds more to it. That's why it's number 3 for me. It's not just your typical throw you over the waterfall theme park ride. It has a lot of other drops. We talked about this earlier. The ride itself is pretty long. Well, pretty long. It's 4 or 5 minutes probably. So it's not like a quick ride that you wait 50 minutes on and the ride itself takes 30 seconds. It's worth it. Also, if you enjoy water rides, when it's raining, you can usually get fast passes for it. So last time we did it, we probably did it 3 times in a row. Had a blast. Throw me down a waterfall. I love it.
No, I agree, and I think that's something that we enjoy waterfalls. We enjoy water rides more than some people. That's evident with my number 3, which is also Splash Mountain. We actually didn't share our list, so this is something that we're kind of getting genuine back and forth on. Number 3 for me is Splash Mountain. Again, we love water rides. A lot of people aren't huge fans of water rides, but on the flip side of that, I can get motion sickness on rides, which is why, not to spoil it, but Aerosmith, Tower of Terror aren't going to be on mine. I'll ride Tower of Terror and not really get that bad of motion sickness afterwards, but still for 15 minutes afterwards I'm feeling it. But I think that's something that's definitely going to help our videos. So people that are motion sickness, you can see what I do during rides versus somebody who doesn't have motion sickness like Chase that rides most of the rides in Disney World. You can see those rides as well. So it kind of gives you both perspectives on that. But yeah, number 3 for me is Splash Mountain.
Alright. My number 2, speaking of motion sickness, is Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster. I love that ride. I love that ride. I love that ride. It's so fun. It is short, but it's fun. You start off terrified, in the middle you just start laughing, and then by the end of the ride you're singing. So it's just you get all those emotions in there. The inline queue for it is cool. You get to see the band, and they invite you to their show. You get backstage passes or whatever, and then you walk through the rest of the line and you see the limos in line, and then they just get rocketed off, and you're just sitting there what did I get myself into? But again, fun ride, definitely a thrill ride. So if you don't know about it and your kids are young and questionable on the thrill rides, I wouldn't recommend it. But for adults, it's awesome.
Yeah, and again, that goes back to, you get kind of both perspectives here of different points of view. Number 2 for me is Space Mountain, which is weird for me because I do get motion sickness, but I don't have motion sickness on Space Mountain. I'm guessing because it's in the dark, but again, Chase covered it well. It's a great ride. again, one of those rides that I consider to be a Disney original ride, opening not too long after the park opened, and for it to still be around to this day just shows how great of a ride that it is. It's great. It's fun for all ages. It's definitely more in the thrill category. So maybe obviously your kids, so definitely maybe hold back on that. An option for that is rider swap, even so you can wait in line, and the husband can go on the ride, and then after the ride, he can take the kid and they'll just let you back on to the front of the line where you don't have to wait back in line. So Disney definitely has you covered from all angles there. Number 2 for me, Space Mountain. Also, I don't remember if we talked about it, but it's definitely a cool place afterwards. It's like one of my favorite shops. You can get customizable magic bands, limited releases, different kind of Disney merchandise there, drinks, snacks. Definitely check that out after a ride, because you can get stuff there that you can't get anywhere else in the park. So that brings us to our number 1.
Which is probably going to be the same thing.
Probably going to be the same. Again, we don't know each other's list because we wanted to kind of have genuine back and forth and reactions, but based on our reactions this last time we went to the park, I think we know what it is.
Yeah.
Number 1 is
Flight of Passage.
Definitely Flight of Passage for me as well.
Okay, it's just mind-blowing. For the people who've been on it, y'all know what we're talking about. Just mind-blowing. Like, for the people that haven't been on it, whatever the wait time is, do it. Especially if you don't go to Disney that often, do it. It's worth the wait. The ride at Disney, I would say that no matter what the wait time is, it's worth it.
Yeah, and I think we got on it. Yeah, I mean, we looked into a fast pass the first time we rode it, but the second time we rode it, we didn't. We were prepared to wait. I think it was 3.5 hours. It ended up only being a 2-hour wait, but we were prepared to wait that just because of how good the ride is. Coming from 2 people that aren't the most patient people in the world, that definitely goes to show you how great of a ride it is. It's definitely a ride like I've never experienced before. Just Disney did a great job. They did a great job
detailed.
with. Oh yeah,
everything's detailed.
Yeah, exactly. No matter where you look, on the screen, it's just great. Now, obviously, if you look too far, you can see people out of the side. So try to keep it straightforward. But I mean, you definitely have to go out of your way to do that. But stay in the field of vision, get into the ride. It's so detailed. You can feel the Banshee breathing between your legs. Water droplets that splash into you, wind. It's just an amazing ride. The line queue is just amazing.
Both times we waited in the line for it, it was a lot shorter than what the sign said outside. So that's also. Just because it says it's a 200-minute wait doesn't mean it's going to be 200 minutes.
Right, exactly. Also, if you're staying on a resort property, definitely make your fast passes 60 days.
Definite fast pass for it.
Yeah, definitely. So that concludes our top 10. Just in review for me, my top 10 is Soarin', 9 Pirates, number 8 for me is Haunted Mansion, number 7 The Jungle Cruise, number 6 Toy Story Mania, number 5 is Test Track, number 4 is Safari, in Animal Kingdom, number 3 is Splash Mountain, number 2 is Space Mountain, and number 1 is Flight of Passage. So there's my top 10.
Alright, my top 10 start off with Spaceship Earth, number 9 Tower of Terror, number 8 People Mover, 7 Test Track, 6 Expedition Everest, Toy Story Mania's at 5, 4 is Space Mountain, 3 is Splash Mountain, 2 is Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster, and 1 is Flight of Passage. And now we're going to talk about 2 things we left off of our lists. My first one is Navi River Ride. It's right up there for me as a top 10 ride. It's overshadowed by Flight of Passage.
Definitely. But definitely it's going to be underrated, I think.
Definitely my favorite Disney boat ride. Music, theme, animatronic at the end, amazing. Everything's amazing. And then Soarin' was also left off my list. Mainly because there's a tier fast pass thing at Epcot. So you can only get 1 fast pass for Test Track, Soarin', or Frozen. And for me, Soarin' is last on that list for me on what I'd rather do. I'd rather do Frozen and Test Track above it. So not knocking on the ride, it's just that it's hard to get fast pass for.
And if you don't get a fast pass, it's gonna be a long
It's
wait.
gonna be a long wait. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely
Those are two
understand.
things.
For me, two things that are probably gonna surprise people is Big Thunder Mountain. For me, I think it's a great ride. I've enjoyed it. This last time I went though, it just shook around a lot. I don't remember doing that, so it just seems to be something that's after the refurbishment that happens, but it shakes you around a lot. Like for me, it may just because I'm so tall too, being 6'3", I feel like cramped, and like anytime it jerks or like does anything like that, you're like hitting your knees on the cart in front of you. So for me, that's why it wasn't my top 10, but it's definitely on the borderline. All right, so for the Instagram giveaway that we did, again, thanks for all the support. Like us, follow us there if you don't already. Subscribe to this, like it. The Disney giveaway winner of the $50 Disney gift card is Gabrielle Goes Disney. Gabrielle Goes Disney. So congratulations. Get with us on Instagram, message us. We'll figure out how to get that gift card to you. We'll ship it out within the next day or two. So congratulations. Thanks to all that entered the giveaway. Thanks to all the comments, all the likes, all the supports on everything. Like, we couldn't do it without y'all. Thanks for all the love. The Disney community, I think we both agree, has just been amazing to us this last week. So subscribe to this video, like it, comment below, follow us on our channel for news and updates on Disney World and future vlogs. Quaharini, everybody.
Quaharini.